depending on where you are connecting from. Apologies, I had to end the first live because it was very chaotic. There were a lot of technical issues with the sound, with the lights, with the noise and everything. So I just had to end that live and start a new one. Yeah. So that's life. Mm. Life is like life. Once there are issues, you can always pick yourself back up and start again. And that's just what I did. I had to start another live. So I was apologizing that I couldn't hold Monday night live sessions yesterday. I had to push it till today. Yeah, and I said I could have as well just said okay till next Monday, but then I thought about it. I'm like 9 p.m. every Monday. People are tuned in to this channel to connect with me um because they take this place seriously. I need to do that as well. So because I respect everyone on this space, I respect everyone that is subscribed to this channel. I respect everyone that follows me. I respect your commitment by 9 p.m. every Monday. I just had to show up today. So it's not a Monday night live session, but then I just had to do this today because um, I said even if I couldn't make it yesterday, I can do it today. Yeah, so that's why we are having this conversation on a Tuesday and not next Monday. I respect you guys on this space. I just wanted you to know that. So, if you're in the comment section, or rather let me know in the comment section where you are connecting from so I can just acknowledge you. I can welcome you. Just let me know where you are connecting from so I can say hello to you. And also help me share this new link because a lot of people the old link as I had to delete that live. It was just too chaotic. A lot of issues were going on. And so you can help me share this new link so that people are aware that there's a new link and they can join in on this conversation. Yeah, for a while now, I've been experiencing issues with the connection. That's the network. It has been so bad for like 2 or 3 live sessions I've had consecutively like that. I'm always losing some parts of the session. By the time the video is uploading and trying to save, I notice that out of maybe 1 hour live session I do, maybe like 40 minutes is lost, 25 minutes is lost, and all of that. So all of these network issues, network glitches, sometimes they make us lose some of our stuff online. But I just need you to keep your eyes open. So if one live session ends, I need you to just go to the channel again. That's my channel. And just you see a place that, on the profile, you see live. Once you click on it, you automatically join whatever, new link is working at that time. So if there's any network issues tonight, just go back to the channel, look for where there's live, click it and join. Yes, network has got nothing on us. All right, so tonight we are having honest conversations about marriage. Yeah, I said they are going to be real conversations, honest conversations, raw conversations. We're not sugarcoating anything, we're saying it as it is. Oh, yes. Now, there are so many beliefs out there about marriage, particularly in the minds of what's it called now? Single people. Yeah, particularly in the minds of single people. And most of these beliefs that they have about marriage, they are negative beliefs. And it's not their fault, it's the beliefs that they have been exposed to, either the things they have read, the things they have seen, the things they have experienced. Sometimes you notice, or rather you experience things. It didn't happen to you, but then it happened to someone close to you, or it happened in your environment, and so you witnessed so and so thing happen. And those things they end up forming, or rather informing your perception about certain things. So a lot of young people are scared of marriage. A lot of young people, let me not even use the word scared. A lot of young people, they are in this headspace where they look at marriage and they're like, I beg that thing I just off ahead. I can't go and do that. A lot of young people, single people right now, their disposition towards marriage is not a good one. Yes, there are people that are like, This is not about any trauma. This is not about any fear. There are people who are single by choice. They don't want to get married. They want to live their lives single for the rest of their life. There are people like that. But then there are still people who they desire to be married, but the horrible things they have heard about marriage, they have seen about marriage. Sometimes people even in the marriages of their parents, all of these things has built certain negative beliefs in their minds about marriage. And so we want to talk about some of these things. Yeah, we want to look into marriage. We want to zoom in, into the subject of marriage and talk about some of these mindsets, some of these beliefs, some of these things that are going on in the minds of people about marriage. That's what we want to talk about tonight. Also, I am not here to try to convince anybody or confuse anybody. I'm not here to convince or confuse you about why you should get married or why you should not get married. That's not what I'm doing tonight. I am just here to give my own honest conversation. I'm just here to talk about marriage generally. Yeah, the good, the bad, the ugly side of marriage. We'll talk about everything. Yeah, as someone who is married, and I am their experiences I have had in my own marriage, and then their experiences of other people that I have been privileged to either read about, hear about, or even mediating as a counselor, right? And so we want to talk about all of these things together. What is marriage really like? What are the beliefs that people have about marriage? These beliefs, what are they founded on? Are they true? We just want to zoom in on marriage and talk about marriage for real, for real. We're not sugarcoating anything. We're not trying to make it look good. No, we're just going to say it as it is, right? So, number one thing I want to begin with in this conversation tonight is that marriage is a gift and a blessing from God. Now, we have heard certain statements, that people have made. Oh, marriage is a scam. Oh, marriage is a trap. Oh, marriage is just lifetime, is a recipe for lifetime suffering. A lot of people have said negative things concerning marriage. Now, the truth is that all of these things, these statements I just made, marriage is a scam, marriage is a trap, marriage is a recipe for lifetime suffering, blah, 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 blah. All those things, lori ro, they are lies. They are lies. And this is why they are lies. Marriage is not the problem. Marriage in itself, marriage as an entity is not the problem. It is the practice of marriage and the understanding of marriage. That's where people have problems. I hope you got me. I'm saying marriage, we've heard statements marriage is a scam, marriage is a trap, marriage is this one, a recipe for lifetime suffering. I'm saying all of those things, they are lies. That's not true. Marriage is not a scam. Marriage is not a recipe for lifetime suffering. Marriage is not a what's it called? What's that other thing they say? Marriage is not a trap. No. These things are lies. They are false. Marriage is not the problem. It is the understanding of marriage and then the practice, how marriage is practiced by people. That's where the problem lies. I'm saying it because, the Bible talks about every good and perfect gift comes from God. Whatever God gives is good. Whatever God gives is perfect, right? And so a product can be good by design, it is good. But then the way we engage that product, the way we use that product, we can handle that product in such a way whereby we mismanage it. And then something that was good, something that the manufacturer, finished producing, designing, crafting together, and then he said, this is very good, this is good, we can misuse it, we can mishandle it, we can mismanage it, and at the end of the day, something good start looking like something bad. That's what I'm trying to say. So marriage in itself is a good thing. It is the faulty understanding that we have of it, and then the way we practice it wrongly. That's where the problem lies. So marriage in itself, by design, according to God's, design, marriage is a blessing. That's the first thing that I want you to understand. So all these statements of marriage is a scam, and marriage is this, marriage is a trap, marriage is a recipe for lifetime suffering. That's false. That is false. It is when marriage is not done the right way, when marriage is not done according to God's design, that is when marriage begins to look like a burden instead of a blessing. So marriage is a blessing, is a gift from God. Number two thing I'm going to say is that marriage has challenges. Oh, yes. Just because something is a good gift from God doesn't mean that, doesn't exempt it from having challenges. No. Marriage has challenges. And every meaningful thing in life also have challenges, or also has challenges rather. Think about everything. Your job has challenges. In your work with God as a believer, you experience challenges. Your business has challenges. Your ministry has challenges. Sometimes you have challenges with your health. Sometimes friendships, other relationships with your parents, with your siblings, you experience challenges. Even singlehood, the fact that you're a single person, you have challenges. Every meaningful thing in life, your education has challenges. Everything has challenges. So I don't know why we now, as people, we now have that idea that marriage is now the place where there are no challenges. How? Every other thing in life has challenges. So marriage is now the place where, there are no challenges. That's a lie. That's a very unrealistic expectation to have. Every meaningful thing in life has what? Challenges, including marriage. So let's stop having that idea that marriage is a place, where there are no challenges. No, everything in life has challenges. I was chatting with someone this evening, and he was telling me, oh, he has been posted for NYC. So I was asking, so where have you been posted to? How are things going? And then he began to tell me that you know, um right now he's doing his service, and things appear to be going well, but then he said he's scared of life after service. Please follow me. He said he's scared of life after service. Now, this is because most times, because you are serving, there's always alawi. Life seems to be going well. At the end of the month, there's something to look forward to. You are practically employed by the government, let me put it like that, during your NYC, right? And so this person right now is already scared of life after service, because life after service is possible that you might not get a job, or it's possible that you are far away from your family, as in so many different things can come up after service. Now I said something to this person. I said, look, learn to enjoy the moment, learn to enjoy where you are. There's something my mentor always says. She says, enjoy where you are on the way to where you are going. Some of us, we have this thing called destination syndrome. I don't know if you've heard of it. Destination syndrome is when you find it hard to enjoy the moment, to enjoy the stage of life that you are in. You always look forward to happiness is in the next stage. Happiness is in the next big thing that's going to happen for me, right? That's called destination syndrome. You don't know how to find satisfaction, contentment, joy, happiness, fulfillment from the present. You are always expecting that happiness is in the next thing that's going to happen to you. So this person is serving, he's doing his NYC. He's already afraid. He's already concerned. He's already worried about life after service. I had to tell him, bro, enjoy where you are. Enjoy where you are. So most of us, we entered marriage like that. As single people, we didn't know how to enjoy our singlehood. We didn't know how to find singlehood enjoyable, fulfilling. We didn't know how to be satisfied in who we were as single people, right? And so we kept looking forward to marriage. Marriage is what will complete your life and make your life meaningful. Marriage is what will solve all your problems. Destination syndrome. That's the way a lot of us entered marriage. We were not happy people as single people. We were not fulfilled people as single people. We didn't know how to enjoy ourselves, enjoy our singlehood, enjoy our individuality. It's like we didn't have our lives as single people. We didn't have a life. Let me put it like that. It's as if your life just begun, or your life now had color when you were living a black and white life. And then so suddenly you got married, and that's when your life now took shape. You see that? Destination syndrome. But I'm trying to say that we should stop having unrealistic expectations about marriage. Marriage is a place where there are challenges. Yes. If other things in life have challenges, I don't know what informs us, our perception, to now think that marriage is a place where there are no zero challenges. That's a lie. Marriage has challenges. Just because something is a good and perfect gift from God does not exempt it from challenges. Every other meaningful thing in our lives, apart from our marriage, they have challenges. So our marriage inclusive has challenges. Marriage is like every other thing in our life. That's just what I want us to understand, right? Yes, it's something that is it's a higher calling. Yes, it's a gift from God. But like every other thing in our lives, marriage has challenges. That's the second thing I want you to understand. The number three thing I want you to understand about marriage is there are bad moments in good marriages too. The way I have said, oh, marriage has challenges. Some people will interpret it to mean, oh, it's the bad marriages that have challenges. Good marriages are good, no challenge. Nope, I have not said that. There are bad moments in good marriages too. Look, we have two types of marriages, right? We have good marriages, we have bad marriages. you know in both of these marriages, in a good marriage, in a bad marriage, there are challenges. Yes, people that have good marriages, successful marriages, healthy marriages, happy marriages, great marriages, they also have, or they also experience challenges. Good marriages have challenges, bad marriages also have challenges are present in both good and bad marriages. So even in the good marriages, there are bad moments. There are bad times, right? There are times when things are not going well. We need to understand that about marriage, that even in good marriages, there are challenges. There are bad moments, right? So that's the third thing I want us to understand. Don't worry, we are building foundation, we are building momentum. We'll get to the nitty-gritty of the matter. Yeah. So, number four thing I want us to understand about marriage is that marriage operates in seasons. There are seasons in marriages. Now, I'm going to dwell here a little bit because um, I don't really like the idea that some people have about marriage and about married people. Yeah, and these ideas that people have about marriage is not just single people. It's not just single people that have these ideas about marriage. Even married people who are married, who are in the marriage, some of them have wrong ideas, wrong understanding, wrong beliefs about marriage. Now let me just read out some of them to you. Sometimes you see people looking at married people and saying, oh, they are just suffering and smiling. Yeah, you look at some married couples and just tell yourself, marriage is just sufferhead. They are just suffering and smiling. They are not really happy in this their marriage. Oh, look at them. They are miserable because they are married. Oh, look at them. They are not really happy. They are just pretending to be happy. There's this ideology that married people are suffering. Married people cannot, they are miserable. Married people are not enjoying their lives. Married people are trapped. Married people are unhappy people. These beliefs are in the minds of people, including married people. Yes, I have seen people who, when they see a married couple, maybe the married couple, they are laughing, they are holding hands, they are genuinely like having a nice time together. People will roll their eyes, twist their nose, and say, "Look at them, I beg you, they're just pretending to be happy." Why do we always feel that married people are miserable people? That's the question I'm asking. Why? Why do we always think that all that married people do is just they just suffer? 24/7 they are suffering in the marriage. Why do we feel like that? Why do we feel like that? Now I will tell you one of the reasons why some people look at married people and say, oh, they are suffering, oh, they are miserable, oh, they are not happy, they are just pretending to be happy. Sometimes it's because you have seen those people in their worst moments. Remember, this point I'm talking about now, I'm talking about how marriage has seasons, right? Now, sometimes it is possible to have seen a couple in their bad season. Their bad season is when, they quarrel, they argue, they fight, they disagree. Sometimes these fights are even physical. Sometimes these arguments are very tense, they are very heated. You have seen that couple in their bad season. And so to you, because you have seen them, you saw them fighting yesterday, you are now thinking in your mind that they fight every day. Yeah. I'm telling you why some people think that, married people are just suffering in marriage. Married people are just miserable in their marriage. I'm saying most at times it's because you have seen them in their worst season. You saw them when they used to quarrel. You saw them arguing. You saw them fighting. And so when you now see them, they are not quarreling. They are happy. They are holding hands. They are kissing. They are hugging. They are genuinely having a good time. You still find it hard to believe that they are happy in that moment. Why? Because you saw the ugly side. You saw the vulnerable side. You saw the bad season of the marriage. I want to let you know that even though they are bad marriages, it's not all marriages that are bad. There are bad seasons. A bad season in a marriage does not make the marriage bad. That's my point. The fact that a couple fought last week does not mean that they fight every day. I'm saying this because I want to challenge the wrong beliefs that people have concerning marriage. A lot of people just think married people are suffering and suffering. No. The fact that my husband and I, we quarreled yesterday, we fought yesterday, we had an argument last week, doesn't mean that that is what we do every day in the marriage. No, that's a part, that's a portion, that's an aspect of the marriage. That's not the entirety of the marriage. I wrote one time, I said a lot of people have lost good marriages because they didn't know how to tell themselves, I am having a bad moment. They equaled bad moment to mean bad marriage. And that's what a lot of people, especially single people, that's the idea they have about marriage. Because they've seen the couple at their worst moments. You were there the day the man slapped the woman. You were there the day they argued, they raised their voices at each other. And so to you, when you now see them happy, you see them, smiling and all of that, you feel that they are pretending. No, marriage has seasons. There are good seasons where things are going well between the couple. They are happy, they are, they love each other, they are expressing that love to one another. There are also bad seasons where maybe one person has offended the other person and the other person is hurting. The other person is finding it hard to forgive and move on. Marriage has seasons. Let's stop using one season to judge the entire marriage. That is my point. Stop assuming that just because you witnessed when a couple fought, argued, disagreed, quarreled, it means that every day, 24/7, 7 times in a week, 4 weeks in a month. No, that's not what married people, they don't fight every day. Please delete that mindset. Married people are miserable. We are not miserable. Marriage has seasons. I'm saying this because even people that are married, there are people that are in their marriages right now. They have told themselves, I'm suffering in this marriage. They have told themselves, wait, I am suffering in this marriage. No, you are not suffering the marriage. You are going through a bad season in the marriage. Understand that marriage has seasons. The fact that we fought yesterday or right now we are not in talking terms, we are not in good terms with each other, that's not the entirety of the marriage. That's not the whole 100% of the marriage. That's just a portion. Marriage has seasons. That's what I want us to understand. Number 5, there is this idea that, married people are not happy people. They are just pretending to be. People have the belief that married people pretend a lot. Like I put on the caption when I posted the flyer for this session on Facebook, I said I was with some brethren and we're just talking about different random things, and then we started talking about marriage somehow. And somebody just made a remark that all these married people safe with all these shege you people are seeing inside marriage. You will not tell us that we should not marry. No, you will still be dragging us that we should come and marry, we should come and marry. Now it was a light-hearted joke, right? But then I just picked something from it that a lot of people who just have this idea that married people are miserable people that are pretending to be happy. I'm not saying that that is what that person meant. It's not about that person. I'm just saying that this is a mindset that people have. Married people are miserable people that are pretending to be happy. Now, let me paint a scenario for you because what I'm trying to do tonight is to dismantle these wrong beliefs. There's this scripture that talks about casting down imaginations, right? And bringing every thought into the obedience of Christ. A lot of young people, that's how I began this session tonight. I said a lot of young people, they are scared of marriage. And that's because they have heard so many deadly things, scary things, unpleasant things, negative things about marriage. I'm saying let's zoom into marriage because it appears that people are only looking at marriage from one side, the challenges side, the difficult side, the rough side. How about the good side? Marriage has good sides. Oh, marriage has pleasant sides. Marriage has wonderful sides. Stop looking at only the pains, the sacrifices, the inconveniences. No. This idea that, oh, married people are miserable people that are pretending to be happy. I want to paint a scenario for you because we need to dismantle this thing that, oh, married people are just going around pretending. They are always pretending. Let me paint a scenario for you. Now, any married person that's listening to me will relate to what I'm about to say. So, you and your spouse, probably you were fighting or quarreling or arguing about something, right, in your house. And then suddenly there's a knock on the door, or suddenly your phone rings and then you pick it up and somebody says, "Oh, are you at home? Are you guys at home?" You say, "Yes." And the person says, "Oh, I'm coming to pay you a visit." You drop the phone. What's the next thing you do? Or maybe the person knocks on the door, the person is already at your gate. They knock on the door. What do you do in that moment? Mm. You guys were fighting or you were arguing, probably raising your voice at each other. Now that you have a visitor, what do you do? Now, the next thing that you do is likely, you put that argument aside. That thing you are quarreling and fighting yourselves about, you keep it aside. And then you try to act normal because somebody is coming into your home. Please stay with me. I'm trying to paint a scenario. Yeah. And so because somebody has come into your home, you put that argument on hold, right? I dare any married person come out and tell me that, oh, this thing has not happened to you before. You and your spouse, you are quarreling, you're arguing, and then somebody comes to visit. You guys will just have to briefly make up, temporarily make up. You put your argument aside and you try to act normal, right? I say I dare any married person to come and tell me that this thing has not happened to me before is a lie. It's a lie. There are times you guys were quarreling or arguing, or you were not in good terms with each other. But then because somebody comes into your home, you have to put that thing aside and act normal and act united, right? Now, if the person comes, because I'm trying to tell you, when people say, married people are pretending, I'm trying to paint a scenario. If me and my husband were arguing before you came to visit us, we were arguing before you came, right? And then the moment you come in, we are trying to make you feel comfortable. We are smiling at you. We offer you, please sit down. I go ahead and get you a drink. We try to make you feel welcome. We were arguing before you came. I want to ask you a question. Do we need to keep arguing in your presence? Do we need to continue that argument in order to prove to you that we are real people? Do we need to keep arguing in your presence in order to prove to you that we are not pretenders? Okay, picture it. We were arguing before you came. You knocked on the door. We welcomed you. We offered you a seat. We gave you drinks and chin chin and all of that. You are feeling very at home. And then we pick that argument from where we left off. We continue to argue in your presence. Will you feel welcome in our home? Married people pretend. Married people pretend. We were fighting before you came, but now that you have come, should we continue fighting in your presence? That's what I'm asking you. In order to prove that we are not pretending, should we keep fighting in your presence? Will you feel welcome if we do that? Will you feel like an honored guest if we continued arguing in your presence? Will you feel that we value you? Will you feel that we respect you? No, you will not. You will not feel comfort. You won't even be able to stay. So the fact that we were arguing before you came and then you walked into our home and we had to put that argument aside and then make you feel welcome doesn't make us pretenders. No. Number one, we are trying to act normal for your sake, to make you feel welcome, to make you feel comfortable. It's not about the pretense because these married people pretend. No, we cannot keep arguing in your presence just to prove that we are not pretending. We can't do that. It's not normal. It's not sane. If we do that, we keep arguing in your presence to prove that we are not pretending, to prove that we are real, and we can do whatever we want, you will not feel comfortable. Number two, you don't need to know what we are arguing about. Our issues are our issues, they are not your issues, right? And so let's stop having that mindset that, oh, married people, they are miserable, they are just pretending to be happy. No, we are not, we don't fight all the time, we don't argue all the time. No, there are genuinely happy moments. Marriage has seasons. Marriage has seasons. And if at all we were having an argument before you walked into our house, or before we came down from the car and met you, it's because that, that moment requires us to put our differences aside and attend to you and welcome you and try to make you feel comfortable. All right. So let's not have this mindset. Some of us in our places of work, there are sometimes your boss will call you to the office, blast you, shout on you, insult you, and then you are in customer care. Oh, you are working in customer care, and then your boss will send you, come and get out of my office. You will go back to that your customer care seat. Will you go there and be squeezing your face because your boss shouted at you? What do you do? That seat requires you to be normal. You have to smile to your customers. You're welcome to UBA Bank. How can we help you today? They just finished blasting you. Will you call what you are doing pretending? No, that place requires you to put your emotions aside and do your job. Yes, so it's the same thing about marriage. We might be having issues in our lives. We might be going through a very rough season. We might be having a very rough patch, right? But then when we come in contact with other people, that moment requires us to be a particular version of ourselves. We don't need to carry our issues on our head to prove we are not pretending. That is my point. Married people are not miserable people. We'll come to that because there are bad marriages. Oh, there are marriages where people are truly miserable. I'm just saying that let's not generalize it. Let's not look at a married person and just think this one is just suffering. No, there are people who are genuinely enjoying their marriages. Marriage is not just about pain and sacrifice 24/7, 7 times a week. No, marriage has seasons. Now, the next thing I want to say is that who you are and also who you marry will define what marriage means to you and the kind of marriage you will have. Let me take it again. Who you are, mm, and then who you now marry will define what marriage means to you and will determine the kind of marriage you will have. Now, notice that I did not just say who you marry will determine the kind. No, I didn't just say who you marry. I first said who you are. Because a lot of the times, a lot of people are bad, a lot of people are toxic, a lot of people are, they are not good people. But then they want to marry somebody who is good and then expect that that good person, despite all the wrong things that they are doing, they want that good person to remain good, to keep doing good. It's not possible. Who you are and then the person you marry, that combination is what makes marriage. That combo is what will define the marriage. If you are a demon, you go and marry an angel, you can't have a good marriage because you will frustrate that. You will turn that angel into a demon at the end of the day. You will frustrate that angel until you will you will bring out a demon out of that angel. So who you are, marriage starts with you. Who are you? You see people that are not respectful. They want to marry somebody who is respectful. You see people who are not hardworking, they are lazy, but they want to marry a hardworking person. No. Whenever people ask that question, what are the qualities I should look for in a life partner? I always ask them, look at yourself. What are the qualities you have? We're always focused on how the other person should come and be the good angel. You an angel. Who you are, marriage starts with who you are. Who you are, and then who you marry. That combination will define what kind of marriage you have, will define what marriage means to you at the end of the day. You see, when some people say things like, oh, marriage is a scam, marriage is just a lifetime suffering, some of them are talking from their realities, their painful, bitter realities. That marriage is a scam is the truth. It's not everybody's truth, but it is their own truth. It is their own reality. It is what they are experiencing. in their own marriage. And so, if such a person who is maybe being molested, they are domestically abused in their marriages, they are emotionally neglected, they are abandoned, their spouse, a lot of things, wrong things, toxic things are happening in that marriage. If such a person comes, they set ring light and they are saying marriage is a scam. Now, there's an element of truth in that statement, but I'm saying it is not everybody's reality. It is their own reality. Why? Because of who they married, right? Because of who they marry. So, marriage starts with you. Marriage starts with you. You want somebody who is right. Are you right? You want somebody who is hardworking. Are you hardworking? Right? You want somebody who will come and give you peace and joy and satisfaction. Can you offer them the same things that you demand from them? Because nobody should demand what they don't deserve. You can't demand respect if you don't deserve it. You must deserve it. How do you deserve it? You to be respectful. That thing you are demanding from the other person, be that thing. Yes. So who you marry and who you are will determine the kind of marriage you will have. Will determine if tomorrow you will go and set ring light and say marriage is a scam. It starts with who you are and then who you marry. There are certain people that when they talk about marriage here, oh, you want to get married tomorrow. You want to find somebody and marry tomorrow. Why? Because they are talking from a place of satisfaction. They are talking from a place of marital fulfillment. They are genuinely happy in their marriages. What is the difference between somebody who is talking about, oh, marriage is a blessing, and somebody who is saying marriage is a scam? They are saying it with tears in their eyes. Is because their realities are different. Like I said, marriage in itself is a blessing from God, but it is how it is understood, how it is, handled, how it is practiced. That is what now makes it, to either look bad. People who are suffering in their marriages, they are the ones who will come out and say marriage is a scam. And I'm saying that yes, it's true for them, but it's not true for everybody. Let's remove these faulty mindsets about marriage. Marriage is not the problem. It is who you are and the person you marry that will determine the kind of marriage you will have. No successful marriage happens overnight. If you see people who are in happy marriages, healthy marriages, marriages where they genuinely love and respect each other, it did not happen by chance. It did not happen by coincidence. It happened by intentional decisions. Yes, they intentionally worked on that marriage to arrive at that point. They intentionally built that marriage to come out like that, to have that kind of outcome. So most times you just see happy couples, you say, God, when? It's not about God, when. A lot of work, a lot of intentionality, a lot of sacrifices have gone into building the marriage to what you like that you see. Oh, yes. So let's not have this mentality that, oh, marriage is about who you are first. Don't just focus on the other person, the other person, the other person. Focus on yourself, build yourself. And then before you now look outward, who you are and who you marry will determine the kind of marriage that you will have. Now, for the next point I want to make, I want to read a scripture to us, and I want to read it in the message translation because we'll get the message clearer from the message translation. Yes. Now, Matthew chapter 19, verse 10 to 12. I'm reading Matthew 19, 10 to 12 in the message translation. It says, Jesus' disciples objected and said, this was when Jesus was talking about, oh, how, he was talking about divorce, talking about adultery. And, he said something like, from the beginning, it was not so, but because of the hardness of your heart, Moses gave you a law and said, if there's adultery, a man should put away his wife, a wife should put away her husband, and they must remain unmarried. He that married. After Jesus had said all of that, the disciples now said, if these are the terms of marriage, I'm reading Matthew 19, 10 to 12 in the message translation. After all of these things Jesus has said about marriage, adultery, divorce, and all of that, the disciples objected and said, if these are the terms of marriage, Omo, we have not got a chance. We haven't gotten a chance. That means we cannot. they no bonus. That's what they were practically saying. If this is what marriage is about, ah, we cannot do it. In short, why get married? This is in the Bible, message translation. It says, why get married? He said, when Jesus heard that, he said, not everyone is mature enough to live a married life. It requires a certain aptitude and grace. This is Jesus talking about marriage. The disciples say, why should we even get married? Nobody should even marry. Let everybody just stay like this. Jesus said, no, it's not everybody that can receive this saying. Marriage requires a certain aptitude and grace. Listen to the next statement Jesus made. Marriage is not for everyone. He says some from birth seemingly never give marriage a thought. If you remember the scripture in the King James Version, it says some are made eunuchs from their mother's womb. The message translation is saying that some people from birth, they don't give marriage a thought. That's why I said that it is wrong to assume that everybody that is single, they are single for the same reasons. No, there are people that are single today. They are not looking to marry at any time. They want to remain single for the rest of their lives, right? And so there are people who are not, they are not thinking about marriage. They want to live their single life for the rest of their life. Then it says here that others, that is some other single people, they never get asked or accepted, meaning that they desire marriage, but nobody has asked them out. Nobody has said, will you marry me? And for some, they have told somebody, will you marry me? They have not accepted their proposal. Jesus was trying to draw the line between people who are single. They are single for different reasons. And he says here that some even decide not to get married for kingdom reasons. Talking about maybe nuns, reverend fathers. They just want to focus on the work of thy Lord, right? And then hear what Jesus says. He says, but if you are able to grow into the largeness of marriage, do it. The next statement I want to make is that marriage is not for everyone. It is not compulsory. Marriage is not for everyone. It is not compulsory. That's what the Bible says. The message translation of Matthew 19:10 to 12. Jesus Christ himself said, marriage is not for everybody.